One type of organization we see a lot of in Star Wars but don't talk about much is the Planetary Defense Force. Most civilized planets across the galaxy have some kind of official military unit to defend their space lanes, orbital assets, and citizens from pirates and other threats. And these forces can range from a few starfighter wings in a small militia to an entire navy, depending on the population and wealth of the world in question. So today we are going to take a look at a few ships that I think would be of interest to such an organization. I am Joey from Radio Free Coruscant, and these are the 5 best ships for planetary defense fleets. Ywing. Starting from the bottom of the scale, we have the Ywing. The Ywing was a very large and capable starfighter, and would be excellent both as a solo patrol fighter for smaller operations or as a small component of a much larger planetary navy. There are many versions of the Ywing out there, but the one I would recommend is the BTL-B. This was the original version of the Ywing, and could be found in large numbers on the second-hand market. It cost 127,000 credits new, but typically went for just 63,000 used. That is a lot for a starfighter, but you could probably negotiate a better deal if you bought in bulk. I chose the BTL-B over the BTL-A4 or S3 used by the Rebellion, because those models are roughly the same price but were more stripped back with their armor removed to make maintenance easier for the understaffed Rebel Alliance. A planetary navy or orbital coast guard wouldn't have such issues, and the PR optics of using a half-dismantled starfighter would probably have your citizens questioning where their tax dollars are going. To be clear, the A4 and S3 are no less capable than the B, they just don't look like it, and you wouldn't be saving any money with them. The BTA-NR2 Ywing could be a possibility for planets forming a defense fleet in the New Republic era, but New Republic regulations left that version a shell of its former self, so let's stick with the original. The Ywing was very heavily armed, giving you a wide variety of options for every scenario. The BTL-B was armed with 2 laser cannons, a dual ion cannon turret, and 2 proton torpedo launchers, giving you the ability to both disable or destroy any size of threat vehicle. Furthermore, the torpedo launchers could be equipped with proton torpedoes, ion torpedoes, or proton bombs, further expanding your options. It was also very durable, relatively well armored and shielded, and very fast for its size. It measured 23.4 meters long by 12.2 meters wide and 2.4 meters tall, and had a remarkable top speed of 1,000 kilometers per hour. It even had a Class 2 hyperdrive for any interstellar operations you may need to engage in, or very rapid deployment across your star system. Its only statistical downside, especially in comparison to later models of the Ywing, was its requirement for 2 crew, a pilot and gunner. But it shouldn't be too difficult to concoct incentives to boost recruitment. Finally, one fairly unknown advantage of the Ywing is its compatibility with other starships. The Corsair Breon HOY-39 Dayvan appears to use the same engines as the Ywing, and would make for a very affordable transport for your defense fleet or other government entities like your postal service. We can also see a couple of unknown ships that use them as well. This freighter uses 4 of them, and there are 2 on another model. We don't know anything about either ship, unfortunately, other than that one of them is likely named the KGZ-54 Star Crane. You'll have to watch my video on every ship in Andor to find out more about these 2. But the point is, Corsair produces several civilian ship models that use the same engines as the Ywing, meaning you could kit out your planetary government with a whole Corsair ecosystem to streamline the maintenance process and reduce costs. Lancer-class pursuit craft. For something with a bit more legroom for its pilots, you could consider the Lancer-class pursuit craft. This Mandal Motors patrol ship was commissioned by the Black Sun Crime Syndicate, but sold openly to anyone willing to fork over the required 120,000 credits to buy one. Lancers could be seen in the hands of bounty hunters, police forces, and planetary militias all over the galaxy, and even wound up in used ship lots in places like Ferrix. I imagine the first non-criminal to order a Lancer might have felt a little weird about buying something created specifically for Black Sun, but the ship's image is now so diluted that its criminal past is relegated to simple trivia, and you won't have to worry about the optics of such a purchase. The Lancer measured about 32 meters long by roughly as wide, depending on which engines you got, and 7 meters tall, though its live-action appearances usually depict it a bit smaller. It had a top speed of 1,050 kilometers per hour and a Class II hyperdrive. The Lancer had a crew of 2, a pilot and co-pilot, though it could be operated by just one, and it could carry 4 passengers. It could likely carry some cargo too, but we don't have a specific quantity for that, and it held a whopping 3 months of consumables. It was armed with a dorsal triple light laser cannon turret, a forward twin light laser cannon, and a ventral tractor beam projector. While it may have been less heavily armed than the Ywing, the inclusion of the tractor beam is a huge boon for your forces, giving them the option to capture and board suspicious starships without having to disable them with ion cannons, though an upgrade to include those would certainly be a welcome addition. The tractor beam also adds some excellent utility to the Lancer, allowing it to tow damaged spacecraft to safety, move satellites and stations into position, and more. These additional use cases make the Lancer a great choice for your planetary fleet. Whether you're keeping pirates out of your asteroid mining operation or chasing down smugglers, the Lancer will make a great addition to or basis for your military. Firespray 31. A more powerful but somehow less expensive option for a planetary militia would be the Firespray 31 patrol and attack craft. While these were relatively rare, they were highly sought after thanks to the fame brought to the class by Jango and Boba Fett's Slave 1. The Firespray was designed for the Republic Correctional Authority as a prisoner transport, but it would make for an excellent patrol ship as well, hence the name. By default, it was armed with 2 laser cannons, 2 concussion missile launchers, and a tractor beam projector, but it could be modified to include more weapons if desired as well. The Fett family's Firespray also included additional rapid-fire lasers, ion cannons, and a mine layer, which could be very useful in keeping pirates away from certain parts of your territory. The Firespray measured 21.5 meters long by 21.3 wide and 7.8 deep in flight mode, or tall in landing mode. It had a maximum airspeed of 850 kilometers per hour and a Class III hyperdrive. If used only for space combat, it only required 1 pilot, but could also accommodate 2 guards and 6 prisoners. It could carry 70 tons of cargo and 1 month of consumables for other types of missions too. However, like I mentioned, the Firespray was a very rare ship. In Legends, only 6 prototypes were built, and all but Slave 1 were destroyed by Jango Fett. Kuat Systems Engineering eventually went on to build a full production run to capitalize on the Fett's reputation, though, so it should be possible to order enough of these to outfit your defense fleet. We don't know how common they were in canon for sure, but there were a couple other bounty hunters and racketeers using them during the Clone Wars, so they must have been available for sale in some capacity. Charger C-70 Frigate. Jumping up considerably in scope, my next recommendation is the Charger C-70 Frigate. There aren't that many combat ships in between starfighter scale like the previous ships and capital scale like this for some reason. Could have gone for the Gozanti for the 100th list in a row, but it's not really combat focused. Still would have been good, but we talk about that one all the time. Just know that anytime I leave it off a list, it's there in spirit. The Dornian gunship was also a tempting possibility, but I figured those were probably a lot less common than this, since they're built specifically by Dornia for Dornia, so you might have a hard time getting a large number of them. The Corellian Engineering Corporation Charger C-70, on the other hand, would likely have been readily available to any planetary government looking to defend its space. Based on the hull of the Consular cruiser, this 138.5 meter long by 83.6 meter wide and about 30 meter tall frigate would be a great size to use as the flagship of a small militia or a supporting escort in a larger navy. Its maximum speed of 1200 km per hour and Class 2 hyperdrive make it the fastest ship on this list, and its crew complement of just 9 would make it very easy to staff a fleet of these despite their larger size. They could also carry up to 24 passengers and 1 year of consumables. The C-70 was commonly used as an escort, transport, scout, or picket ship, making them a very flexible member of your military. And they were very well equipped for the combat roles in that list, with either 5 twin turbo laser turrets and 1 twin laser turret, or 4 twin heavy laser cannons, 1 twin light laser cannon, 1 quad laser cannon, and 2 concussion missile launchers. The only downside to the C-70 would have to be its 3 million credit price tag, although that is only the cannon price. In Legends, it cost a much more reasonable 1.65 million credits new, or 700,000 credits used. It also had a slightly better hyperdrive and altered weapons loadout in that continuity, but we won't get into those. Regardless of the price, this model of ship was invaluable to the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars, and will serve your planet with similar effectiveness too. DP20 Frigate. And finally, the last ship I will recommend to you today is the Corellian Engineering Corporation DP20 Frigate. This 120 meter long by about 50 meter wide and 25 meter tall gunship had some of the greatest firepower of any ship of its size, and would be the perfect deterrent for pirates, enemy factions, and any other threat to your world. The DP-20 was armed with 8 twin light turbo-laser turrets, 6 retractable quad-laser turrets, and 4 concussion missile launchers. It was also very fast, with a Class 2 hyperdrive and a 1000 km per hour atmospheric speed. It required 91 officers and crew, and cost 3.2 million credits. This is a substantial price tag, but it would be well worth it for all you get. I honestly don't even really know what to say about this one. Its stats kind of speak for itself. I don't have the tactical knowledge to tell you specifically how to use it and what it does better or worse than other ships like the C-70. But I do know that it would make an effective picket ship on its own or as a component of a larger fleet. In fact, if you are in charge of military procurement for your planet in the early Imperial era and expect your planet to join the Rebellion eventually, the DP-20 would be an exceptional choice for you, as the Rebellion was quite fond of CEC designs and will really appreciate your foresight in ordering these for them. And even if not, it would make an all-around excellent patrol ship to protect your territory from threats of all sizes and types. The DP-20 is one of the most powerful light warships on the market, and is sure to keep your citizens and territory safe. And those are my picks for the best ships for planetary defense fleets in Star Wars. Let me know which of these you would choose, or what else you think I should have included in the comments. It's a pretty open-ended concept without any specific needs that I could think of, unlike most of the list categories we cover, so really any combat vessel would do fine. But these are my choices, let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe as well, I have plenty of videos just like this one for you to enjoy. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. RFC, out.